We're following the latest on the Garden Grove chemical tank crisis that impacted thousands of families. Elected officials have promised to help evacuated families get reimbursed for the money many had to spend on hotel stays, food, and, of course, expenses.
But it's still unclear how or even when that's going to happen. NBC4's Hetty Chang spoke to a man who turned to his insurance company. She's live in Cyprus with his story. Hetty.
Yeah, that's right. I did speak with a man who lives here in Cyprus. He tells me that he spent a little more than $600 on hotel room stays, food, and gas. But when he submitted the claim to his insurance company, he says the response he got was not what he expected. When Eric Geaver got word that his Cyprus home was in the mandatory evacuation zone for the chemical crisis in Garden Grove,
yeah, I mean, basically a change of clothes. I actually bought some new socks.
He grabbed what he could.
Basically came back home real quick just to grab a go bag, something I kind of keep in my garage for emergencies, nothing else, and just got out of there.
But what he thought would be a one-night hotel stay turned into 4.
So I admitted about $600 worth of expenses for the hotel, and some food while I was at the hotel, basically.
Geaver got home and immediately submitted a claim with his insurance company, thinking he'd be covered for having to be out of his home due to a mandatory evacuation.
That advisor looked at it, gave me a call and said, well, yeah, I'm just going to let you know that we're going to reject this because this is something that's not covered.
Geaver thought he would be covered under this loss of use civil authority clause in his policy, which says civil authority pays for your additional living expenses when a government agency prohibits access to your home. But Geaver was told by his insurance advisor there needed to be physical damage at his house or nearby in order for him to be covered.
I said, what do you mean it's not covered? So I, kind of cited what was in my contract and everything, and they said, oh, well, because there was no actual explosion and no actual fire, the loss of use doesn't apply in your case. But if there was one, then sure, we would have covered it.
Eric, are you surprised, and how do you feel about that?
Oh, I'm very surprised. I mean, I'm kind of shocked that an insurance company would almost root for something to happen in order for you to be made whole.
You have to read the policy. The most policies cover physical damage, and I don't know of many that cover the risk of damage.
Pete Moraga is a spokesman for a national nonprofit called Insurance Information Institute.
In this case, it was a threat, and there wasn't physical damage or physical damage even to any other house in the area. So that would be the language on the policy that would be in effect.
Moraga advises people to hold on to their receipts so they're ready to submit claims if the city or county step in to help.
I would just have thought that your insurance company kind of had your back on things like this.
You can take a photo if you want.
Yeah, just about an hour ago, I did receive a response back from Geaver's insurance company, basically saying that while the advisor he was on the phone with says that his claim was going to be rejected, they're actually not rejecting his claim and that they're working with him to handle his claim. I did speak with city officials as well as county officials. They say that they are working on a plan to try to help some of these families, but so far there's nothing concrete. We're live in Cyprus. Hetty Chang, NBC4 News.
All right, Hetty, thank you for that. Meantime, small businesses impacted by the Garden Grove chemical tank crises are also in limbo. NBC4's Frias spent the day trying to get answers for the owners who tell us they've lost thousands of dollars. Amber.
Hey, Annabelle. Well, the bad news is business owners who were impacted by the crisis are likely not going to receive immediate financial support. The county does say they're working to figure something out to help them, but for now, they're urging GKN Aerospace to step up and financially support those people that were impacted. For many small businesses caught inside the Garden Grove chemical crisis evacuation zone, the emergency didn't just shut their doors. It wiped out one of their busiest weekends of the year. Irvin Sotelo says he had just finished stocking up for the holiday weekend when he got the call to evacuate.
And I was on the way over with all the produce that I had recently purchased. And at that point, I didn't know what to do.
Sotelo says that nearly $2,000 worth of food he purchased was a total loss.
You can't reuse it. It's just food that is going to go to waste, and which most of it already did.
And he isn't alone. Business owners across the evacuation zone tell us they've lost anywhere from $5,000 to $40,000 in sales, inventory, and missed business. As far as financial support, Orange County officials say they're still working to determine what help may be available. For now, impacted businesses are being asked to document their losses and fill out this form found on the county website, ocgov.com. The county will then assess the overall damage reported before requesting state assistance. If approved, the state could seek federal support through the Small Business Administration, which would then offer loans to impacted businesses. But officials warn this process will take time. Meanwhile, county leaders are calling on GKN Aerospace to help cover the losses for those forced to shut down.
The responsibility probably rests with the company itself, and we encourage them to set up a claims process for all concerned and acknowledge responsibility. And that's kind of where I think we're looking for that to happen so the public can be reimbursed for it.
The latest statement from the company says in part, quote, "We are committed to understanding what occurred and identifying ways we can support those affected," end quote. We reached out for more information on what that support may look like, but have not heard back yet. So for now, business owners say they're counting on community support to help them recover.
I want to invite everybody to come and support us, and as well as us, there's so many other businesses out there that were impacted.
And the city of Garden Grove will be hosting a webinar tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. where they will discuss the resources they do have available and the support for business owners. Anyone who is interested in attending, you need to register online. Before then, you could find that registration link on the city's website. That is ggcity.org. Once you make it onto the front page, right off the top, you'll see a big banner that talks about the incident. You click on that next page, the resources area, that's where you'll find that link to sign up. And that webinar will be offered in Spanish, English, and Vietnamese and Korean as well for those interested. But for now, reporting live from Garden Grove, Amber Frias, NBC4 News.